Hello everyone, and welcome to the Digital Library for Newcomers by Kamloops Immigrant Services. Today's video is about how to become a Canadian citizen. Canada is known for its welcoming nature, diverse culture, and beautiful landscapes. If you're looking to become a part of this incredible country, stick around as we guide you through the process step by step. Segment 1. Eligibility requirements. The first step towards becoming a Canadian citizen is understanding the eligibility requirements. Here's what you need to know. Permanent resident status. You must have permanent resident status in Canada, and you must not be under review for immigration or fraud reasons, or removal order asked by Canadian officials to leave Canada, or be missing certain conditions related to your PR status, for example, medical screening. Before applying for citizenship, you should review the documents you received when you became a permanent resident to make sure you have fulfilled the requirements or conditions and that you're eligible. Physical presence. You need to have lived in Canada for at least 1,095 days or 3 years out of the last 5 years before applying. The time traveled outside of Canada is deducted, so keep a diary. In your calculation, you may be able to include some of the time you spent in Canada. As a temporary resident or protected person, half a day is counted for every 1 day in Canada to a maximum of 365 days. Outside Canada, if you were a Crown servant or a family member of a Crown servant. Language proficiency. If you're 18 to 54 years of age on the day you sign your application, you must show that you can speak and listen in English or French at a Canadian language benchmark level 4 or higher. Accepted tests are CELPIP, IELTS for English, TAEF, TFC for French, or if you reach level 4 or higher through a government-funded language program. For example, the LINK program at KIS. If you are unable to write a test due to medical reasons, you need proof of disability, cognitive, psychiatric, or psychological. If you attended a post-secondary or post-secondary program in English or French in your country of origin, a diploma, degree, transcript, or certificate are accepted. Your proof must be in English or French, certified English or French translation. Tax obligations. You must have filled your taxes if required by the Canadian Income Tax Act for at least 3 years within the 5-year period. Criminal history. You should not have any serious criminal convictions, immigration-related or not. Keep in mind that there are prohibitions to becoming a Canadian citizen. If you have committed a crime in or outside of Canada, you may not be eligible to become a Canadian citizen for a period of time. If you are not sure if the situation applies to you or if the period of time has passed, contact your lawyer or arresting officer. Wait until the situation no longer applies before you apply for your citizenship. Also, it is important to know that you do not automatically become a Canadian citizen when you are married with a Canadian citizen, adopted by a Canadian citizen, have a refugee claim accepted, live in Canada as a permanent resident for many years, born outside of Canada to a Canadian parent who is also born outside of Canada on or after April 17, 2009, if you were born in Canada to a foreign diplomat, if you had your citizenship revoked, or if you renounced your Canadian citizenship and never applied to get it back. Citizenship by descent. Canadian citizenship by birth outside Canada to a parent who is a Canadian citizen is now limited to the first generation born outside Canada. What it means is that you are not a Canadian citizen if your parent was also born outside of Canada to a Canadian parent. This would make you the second generation born outside Canada. There are some exceptions to this rule. At the time of your Canadian parent's birth or adoption, your Canadian grandparent was employed outside of Canada, in the Canadian Armed Forces, with the federal public administration, with the public service of a province or territory. Segment 2, application process. Great! Once you've met the eligibility requirements, you can start the application process. Gather your documents. Collect all necessary documents such as your PR card, language test results, tax documents, and travel history. The required documents are photocopy of a proof that demonstrates knowledge of English or French if you are 18 to 54 years old, 2 citizenship photos, photocopies of 2 pieces of ID with a name, photo, and date of birth, copies of all pages of your passport covering the last 5-year eligibility period, copy of your PR card, driver's license, health insurance card, senior citizenship ID card, or age of majority card. Include the receipt for fees paid, $630 for an adult, or a child under 18 is $100. Also include a copy of physical presence calculation. Complete your application. Fill out the Canadian Citizenship Application Form CIT-0002 accurately and honestly, and make sure it's the newest version of the application form. You can apply online or on paper. Submit the application. Submit your application with the required documents and with the application fee, and review and validate the application. At the end, a barcode will appear. Biometrics and interview. You may be required to provide biometrics, fingerprints and photo, and attend an interview if requested by authorities. Wait for processing. The processing time can vary, but you'll receive updates on the status of your application. Currently, it is 25 months. Citizenship test. If your application is approved, you'll be invited to take a citizenship test to assess your knowledge of Canada's history, values, institutions, and symbols. When you get an invitation to write the test, you have 21 days to take the test from the date of invitation. You can request to reschedule using the email provided in the test invitation. If you are outside of Canada and want to take the test from there, then you need to contact DNC ITV AN test at cic.gc.ca within 24 to 48 hours issues of notice. IRCC will then contact you for next steps. Pieces of ID. PR card, if expired, is okay. Valid photo ID, driver's license or health card. Note, take some documents for the test that you included in your application. The test is 30 minutes long. It has 20 questions, which are multiple choice and true or false. And you need 15 correct answers out of 20 to pass. What's on the test? It has general questions about history, geography, economy, government, laws, and symbols. At KIS, we offer preparation for the test session. You can get more info at kis@immigrantservices.ca. Also, you can download Discover Canada, the Rights and Responsibilities of Citizens at this link. At this website, you can download the ebook, you can order a paper copy, you can start studying the book, and you can practice answering the questions with family members or friends. You can also register to attend citizenship preparation classes at KIS. For an online citizenship test, do not use your mobile phone or Chrome browser on an Apple iPad, Microsoft Surface Pro, or virtual private network. You should use Chrome or Safari web browser, a desktop computer, laptop, or tablet. Sign in with your application number and UCI or client ID. Oath of citizenship. If you passed your test, congratulations! IRCC will contact you by email or phone for an invitation to take an oath. As of June 21st, 2021, the new Oath of Citizenship includes a reconciliation piece by recognizing First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people, and the obligation that all Canadians have to uphold the treaties between the Crown and Indigenous nations. Let's talk about the ceremony. Your first step will be to verify your identity. You will be asked to show your PR card and say your name and address. Confirm that you do not have a criminal or immigration proceedings since filing the citizenship application. You will be invited to join the group Zoom meeting, and the citizenship judge will lead everyone to take the oath. The judge congratulates everyone and reminds everyone of their rights and obligations as Canadian citizens. You will be invited to an individual room on Zoom to show your PR card and sign an affirmation of ceremony form in front of an officer. You mail the form to the given address for the officer to stamp, date, and sign. You will receive your citizenship certificate in 2 to 4 weeks. Check the citizenship certificate for any mistakes and send for correction within 90 days. After the 90 days, there is a charge of $75. When you receive your citizenship certificate, congratulations, you're a Canadian citizen. Segment 3, dual citizenship and benefits. Obtaining Canadian citizenship doesn't necessarily mean giving up your original citizenship. Canada allows dual citizenship, so you can enjoy the benefits of being both a Canadian citizen and a citizen of your home country. As a Canadian citizen, you'll enjoy various benefits, including the right to vote. You can participate in federal, provincial, and territorial elections, access to government services. You'll have access to healthcare, education, and social services. Travel freedom. You can travel with a Canadian passport and apply for consular assistance abroad. Job opportunities. Certain government jobs are available only to Canadian citizens. Protection under Canadian law. You'll be protected by Canadian law and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. There you have it, a comprehensive guide on how to become a Canadian citizen. It's a process that requires commitment and preparation, but the rewards are well worth it. Becoming a Canadian citizen grants you legal rights and allows you to be part of a diverse and inclusive nation that values unity and multiculturalism. Remember, at Kamloops Immigrant Services, we offer free services for newcomers and permanent residents to settle in Canada. Check our website at www.immigrantservices.ca or call us at 778-470-6101. Thank you for joining us today. We wish you the best of luck on your journey towards Canadian citizenship, and I'll see you in the next video. Kamloops Immigrant Services. Together, we're better.